Buckle up, Class 4A. We've got round one picks coming your way in a matter of minutes. My name is Cade Nissen. These are not my picks. I'll say that again. I feel like sometimes that gets lost in it. These are our rankers picks. I've got them right in front of me. That's what I'm reading off my screen. I'm just kind of the voice in between it. But nevertheless, our ranker has got picks. He's even got score predictions for you guys. I just asked our rankers to give me a team winning, and our 4A ranker went above and beyond and even picked the scores for these games. So you guys get a little extra insight. But we'll go to where we are now. 16 teams remained in each class. You're placed in your pod, A, B, C, and D. You win your pod, and you're off to Cedar Falls, where you'll be reseeded, but you're not worrying about reseeding right now. You want to win the game put in front of you, and that is where we'll start with Pod A. We got Newton and Western Dubuque. That is number 14 at number 1 in your IA football poll. And you've got number 10 Decorah at number 7 North Scott. I think this is this might be the RPI actually. I don't know off the top of my head. It could be the RPI. It might be our IA football preseason rankings or regular season rankings. Nevertheless, Newton at Western Dubuque, Decorah at North Scott. Starting with that top game, Newton has reeled off 4 straight wins, but Western Dubuque only has 1 loss. Cedar Rapids Xavier by 2 points. Look for Western Dubuque to win a very physical football game. Grant Gloucester and company. They are a ton of fun to watch, and he's racking up yards. And the ranker has a hard time seeing the Bobcats season end right here. Moving on to Decorah at North Scott. Decorah dropped 2 of their last 3 games. North Scott has won 3 straight after losing to Xavier. If Girardi is healthy, North Scott is as good as anyone in 4A. He's got North Scott winning 35-14. I guess I didn't say the other score for Western Dubuque and Newton. He had Western Dubuque 24-13 in that one, so I'll be sure to say the scores for the rest of that one. But nevertheless, that would set up a North Scott Western Dubuque game to go to the Dome. Those 2 teams have faced already, where Western Dubuque won that game. That's when Western Dubuque kind of solidified themselves as the number 1 team in Class 4A. So North Scott will be looking to avenge a loss right there if that matchup were to happen. Moving on to Pod B, Lamar's at Lewis Central, ADM at Denison Schleswig. Lamar's finished runner-up, or they finished 17th in the RPI, but they took second in a very weak district, and obviously, runner-ups automatically get in. On the other side, Lewis Central has reeled off 5 straight wins since their Bondurant loss. Lewis Central, just too much to handle right now. They are playing really, really good ball, and our ranker has them winning 49-14 is his score prediction, so a big one there. Moving on, ADM at Denison Schleswig. Adele started the year out great, stumbled down the stretch. Some injuries are biting them, and they ended up losing to North Polk in the final week. That knocked them to a runner-up spot and heading on the road. Nevertheless, they draw Denison, who was the district champion in that Lamar's district that we are acknowledging is kind of weak. But nevertheless, Denison, district champ, you get a host, you get that right. But our ranker is going with the Tigers. ADM is just too electric. Aiden Flora is an absolute star. Denison's going to get to see that. But it's going to be interesting to see how they try and contain him. I know Denison has some stars in their own with Weavers, but our ranker is going with ADM here. 38-14 is his score there. So 2 lopsided victories, and that would set up a rematch between Lewis Central and ADM, a game where Lewis Central won way back in week 4 or 5. I can't remember off the top of my head. Moving on to Pod C, Norwalk and Glenwood, Pella, Bondurant Farrar. 2 rematches here, which is kind of interesting. A rematch from a week ago for Norwalk and Glenwood. That is one of two games across the entire state where we got a rematch in back-to-back weeks. I know City High and Bettendorf is the other one. I can't remember if there was another one in 4A. But nevertheless, Norwalk, Glenwood facing off for the second week in a row at Glenwood. And Glenwood won that one 53-35. Norwalk had no answer for Caden Anderson and company. And our ranker is expecting a similar result. He is going 41-34 Glenwood. So a little bit closer, but Glenwood just too much to handle offensively. Moving on to our second rematch in this district, Pella, Bondurant Farrar. A rematch from week 8 that saw Pella dominate 40-13. Bondurant is not the same team without Titus Kramer and Reed Faltzgraff. He expects them to compete much better, but the result the same. 24-21 are your exact score for our ranker, picking Pella, the Dutch, over Bondurant. That would set up a Pella-Glenwood match to go to the Dome. One that you might not have picked midway through this year, but that's the way it's kind of looking right now at this point. Moving on to Pod D, another rematch here. Ballard and North Polk. Ballard actually won this one 7-6 way back in week 6. North Polk since has reeled off 3 straight wins, won their district with that final regular season win over ADM. They reel off 3 straight wins in the last 3 weeks, like we said, 2 against ranked opponents. And our ranker is expecting North Polk to get revenge, avenging their loss to Ballard. He's got that one at 27-10, in case you're curious. Our final game right here, Indianola and CR Xavier, number 11 at number 6. A rematch from last year's cold, rainy quarterfinal game. Indianola is a tough out, but Xavier just might be the best team in this class right now. He expects Xavier to control the game and chew the clock. He's got 24-10. Xavier and the Saints setting up a dome matchup. To go to the dome matchup between Xavier and North Polk. That one would be a ton of fun. But that's all I got. Class 4A. We just went through and picked every game in 5 minutes. Super efficient. Be sure to share this with your teammates, your family. Get this video out there so that we can rack up some views and know that we can keep doing this. It takes a lot of time for our rankers to go through and pick every game and give analysis, but if it's what you guys are looking for, we want to bring it to you. So there's your Class 4A picks. Be sure to go check out the other classes where I break down each individual matchup. And Class 4A fans, I'll catch you next week to preview the games to go to the Dome.